Hey guys, it's Jordan Mitchner again. I did my final project today over Duchenne Muscular Dystrophy, which is what I'll be teaching you guys about. I named my kid Henry Boston, and he is suffering from Duchenne Muscular Dystrophy. And Duchenne Muscular Dystrophy, or also known as DMD, is a genetic disorder that causes progressive muscle deterioration. And they named the protein that does this dystrophin, and it keeps muscles intact. It's absent in those with the disease. Symptoms usually appear in boys around ages 3 to 5. It's extremely rare in women. Women and girls are carriers of the disease, but it's mostly just found in boys and men because it's on the sex-linked X chromosome. Henry will develop the disease from that mutated gene in the X chromosome. It's only on one mutated gene in the entire chromosome, and it's what causes DMD. There are many different treatment options for DMD, but it can never be cured. There is no known cure for it as of now. Some of the treatments include eteplirsen. I don't know really how to say it. It's also known as Exondys 51. It's an injection that increases dystrophin production. The medicine can lead to balance problems after you take it. You'll feel very woozy and tired and dizzy. It can also cause vomiting and excessive sickness. So that's why a child may miss school due to feeling extremely ill because they can't stand up and sit through class during the day because they don't feel good, or they may be wanting to throw up. Another treatment option is deflazacort or Emflaza. It's the first corticosteroid that is FDA approved, and it was actually approved this year. And it helps patients retain muscle strength that they are losing or have already lost, and it helps their ability to walk. Because people with DMD, they have very bad, like I said, balance issues, and the muscles mainly deteriorate in their legs and their arms. So walking is very hard for them. And a telltale sign that someone probably has DMD is that their thighs all the way down to their knees are extremely skinny, but their calves are huge because they are either predominantly heel or toe walkers. So they'll be like the people that walk on the balls of their feet, or they'll be walking on the heels. They don't really walk flat-footed or with a natural arch in their step. So some side effects from deflazacort or Emflaza is puffiness in the face and other kind of muscles and joints, a lot of weight gain and fatigue, so they're always tired. So that's why a child may miss school a lot, is because they're too tired to function throughout the day, and they may just feel very woozy. And some kids, even though they're around the ages of 5 years old, they still may be self-conscious about gaining weight, and they don't want to explain to people why. Another treatment is prednisone, and it's a steroid that actually slows down the muscle deterioration and the damage. It increases ability to walk by 2 to 5 years, which is extremely helpful for these people who already have problems walking. Increasing walking even just by 2 years is incredibly helpful for them. It also aids in the lungs and helping the lungs and heart work better. There weren't many side effects I could find. It's probably, again, just the fatigue and just being generally tired and sick, but that comes with every other medication that you're going to take for any disease, really. And then the last option would be surgery in case there's shortened muscles that need to be fixed. Sometimes you may have to straighten their spine because they have a lot of instances where they actually have spines of people who have MS or scoliosis. Their spines are very curved, so they'll need to straighten it. There might be surgery to treat heart or lung problems because it can deteriorate the heart and lungs as well. So you might need surgery to fix that. And obviously this results in missing school for long periods of time because you're going to be hospitalized. You have to have surgery, and then you'll be recovering. So you'll be gone for a while. And if you do end up getting work done on your spine, you'll be probably in a back brace and maybe have to be home for a while with that. So kids aren't really going to want to come to school because of that. And they'll be out for periods of time because they'll have to be on bed rest. I chose the greatest students that I'm doing is 4th grade, so they're between the ages of 9 and 10. I chose this because they're not too young to be able to try and teach something about DMD, and they're around the more mature ages to where they're actually using cognitive thought, and they're able to really process higher intellectual information, because I thought I was extremely mature around this age, so I know that they are too. With Erickson, in the psychosocial stage, is industry versus inferiority. So children gain a sense of self-worth from involvement in activities. So whenever they do something, they do it well, or they do it in general and they're allowed to, they get a lot of self-worth and self-esteem built because of that. And it poses a challenge in any physical activity I try to present to Henry's class, because DMD causes him to have difficulty walking and running, so he can't really participate in sports really, because he's actually an extremely high fall risk, and he has difficulty just moving around. It does help shape what I present to the class, however, because I can give his friends and the classmates a reason as to why Henry may not be able to play around and run and play active games and sports with them like that, and they'll finally be able to understand why he's not able to participate and stuff like that. So they're probably wondering, even at 9 and 10, they're like, why is Henry sitting out from PE all the time, or why is he not playing kickball with us at recess? That's why, because he can't run and can't kick, and he'll probably fall. With Piaget, I didn't choose. They're in the cognitive state of development of concrete operational. Still, children are capable of mature thought when allowed to manipulate and see objects. So like I said, 6 and 10-year-olds are very mature at that age, or you think you are. And if they're able to look at something and hold on to something and see it and manipulate it, they'll be able to learn more about it, which is one of my activities is. The stage will help me present to Henry's friends games and activities that can be manipulated so that he can join them and not feel left out or different. It also allows me to show them how these games and activities can be manipulated in case they don't know, so they can all play together, and they'll be mature enough to be able to do it, proceed with it, and involve Henry in the future. And I also chose Freud. So the developmental stage is latency. Children place importance on privacy and understanding the body. So DMD really plays at that because it's a deterioration of your muscles, and there's braces and not being able to walk, maybe wheelchairs and stuff like that involved. And kids always want to know, like, if they see an old person or anyone on the road that has like braces and scars and stuff like that, they always ask mom and dad, sometimes too loudly, hey, what's up with that? So seeing and hearing that Henry can't join in stuff because his muscles are deteriorating will be extremely interesting to them, and they'll want to know. So the shapes that I present to Henry's friends, because they're intrigued by how their bodies work, will help them retain the information about what's up with Henry and his condition. It also shapes how I present it to them, because children are visual learners, so I will have to execute a way of showing them what is wrong with Henry without objectifying him and making him feel uncomfortable and singled out, because that's the last thing you want to do to kids that have illnesses and diseases and disorders. So the first activity I have, it's called The Problems with Muscles. And the students will be handed color pages of the muscles of the body and instructed to color them however they want. It doesn't really matter. And after everyone is done, I will ask them to describe to me how they think muscles work, what they do for the body. And once I give them, or after they give me their answers, I'm going to present them using like a projector screen with images of differences between normal muscles, like them and us, and muscles of those suffering from DMD, which is Henry. So like some of the images I have, this is kind of like what a muscle in someone with DMD has. Excuse my bear clapper. They're like deteriorated and flat, and they just break off. And our muscles, obviously, because we are normal, healthy human beings, are strong and actually like fluid and full. So Henry doesn't have that. We can run on our muscles and flex them easily, whereas Henry doesn't have the means to do that or the strength. The second activity I have is describe the feeling. So it's basically just a discussion topic. I'll ask the kids, what do you think is easier to do, walk and run on land or walk and run through Jello? So the general answers are going to be walking and running on land is going to be easier, because if you're walking and running through Jello, it's kind of hard and it's just difficult to do because your body's not used to it, and it's kind of stopping you in place. So then I'm going to explain to them that's how Henry feels every single day when he's walking. He already has trouble walking and running as it is. So walking on land is just the same for him as walking through Jello, and that will give them a better understanding of what Henry goes through on a daily basis, which will be good for them because they'll actually know, oh, this is why Henry can't play basketball and kickball and all of those things. So they'll know to include him. And those were basically my goals with my activities, was to make people know, like, this is what Henry has. This is why he's different than you. This is why he can't join in on games and stuff, and why he can't run, and why sometimes he feels very alone and scared is because no one else in his class has to deal with this. And he may also know by this time that people suffering with DMD usually only live until they're about 30s. They have survived now to 40s and 50s, but it's just kind of scary to be alone in that. So I just want to educate his class to know that this is why what he has, why he has it, and to help him out and make him a part of the class. So thank you guys for watching. I hope I taught you a little bit about it, and thank you so much for learning with me.